Taking off my ships. Nice. Not sandals. What are they called? I'm gonna write my ships. It's not ships. It's a slippers. Ships is a term in Arabic, maybe. I don't know. I learned that term somewhere. Ships. Anyways, this is number 86 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And I bought new lights. I bought them yesterday. Well, no, I bought them a few days ago, and then they came in the mail day before yesterday. And I just didn't put them up. Let me fix my computer here, and see how that works. So I can see myself a little bit, and then see the camera. And I'll share the thumbnail with the lights for this video. And it's just, they're real cheap. Not cheap as in cheap quality, but they're cheap in price. Sort of took me a long time to get 2 more lights. Hopefully it works out, makes it a little brighter. I was going to say lighter. That would have made sense. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my glasses, and we're going to continue what we did yesterday and the day before, which is beginning, of course, in mountain pose, but doing 2 sun salutations and then ending with the mountain pose. So we begin in mountain pose, do 2 sun salutations, and then end in mountain pose. Now, with these 2 sun salutations, the first sun salutation is going to have variations in it. It's going to be a little challenging. And that's all on purpose in order to have the second sun salutation be easier, which will be just a standard sun salutation. And hopefully what that does is allow the second sun salutation to have the mind tap into feeling like, man, this is easy. And then what happens is that we learn and gain that mindset of easiness on the yoga mat. And we take that mindset off and apply it in the so-called real world, where everything feels easier. Whether it is or not is your perception, or could be your perception. Of course, something may be difficult, but if you let go and just accept, then it's easy. So let's go to mountain pose. Feet go up. I'm sorry, not the feet. The toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor. One at a time. Knees are bent. Hips are tilted. No tension in the arms or the shoulders. I'm trying to lengthen up some. So think of a thread going through the body. That's what I do. You pull yourself up, line yourself. And then in the mountain pose, what you're doing is trying to align all the bones of the skeleton, where the skeleton is just standing, as if you were just a skeleton and you were standing the skeleton. And you're focusing on the breathing. Now, I need to move this clock up. I have a clock right here. I didn't put in my contacts, so the clock is probably in the way. So I can't see if the clock is in the way. And if it is, doesn't matter. So you're focusing on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And that focus on the breathing is what allows the movements and the stretches to become more than just movements, become more than just stretches. And what happens is those movements, can't speak yet. And this might be the first time I spoke this morning. It is the first time. So those movements and those stretches become a form of a moving meditation. So you're aware of the movements, you're aware of the stretching, You're aware of what's going on in the body, but you're not focused on it. You're focusing on the breathing. Bring palms together. Thumbs go to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale, the first stretch. So just go nice and easy. And then you exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back, reaching out, keeping the back as straight as you can. And then you're going to go down into the ragdoll. With the ragdoll, the arms are dangling, the head is dangling. You're not pulling yourself into this pose. You're just letting the body go where it goes. Accepting where the body goes. Learning acceptance. Maybe you're up like this, right? Maybe you're fully down. Doesn't matter. Once you're settled, you accept it, and then just focus on the breathing. Again, that focusing on the breathing allows you to be aware of what's going on in the body. So you're aware of maybe the feeling of the stretching in the hamstrings or the calves. You're aware of maybe the lower back, or maybe one side of the lower back is tighter than the other. But you're not focused on those things. You're focusing on the breathing. So if you have an issue, say in the lower back, and you feel it, you're not focused on it. You're not focused on the problem. You're focusing on the breathing. Now you're aware of it, but you're not focused on it. Important mindset. Now palms to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. Arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Forehead's going to the knees. Pulling yourself, pushing all the air out. Still go nice and easy, listening to your own body. Arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. Do the best you can. Accept where you are. Accept how you're moving. Exhale. Pull yourself in and down. And again, arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Then exhale, pull yourself in and down. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back. Into a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor. Knees to the floor. The hips are square, so they're pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight, maybe arched. Maybe to your fingertips. Wherever you are, just make sure the knee is not going over the toe. If it is, you need to lengthen up some, and then settle, accept, and then just focus on the breathing. Same concept. When you're focusing on the breathing, you're feeling what's going on in the body. So you're feeling maybe a stretch in the quad, the right quad. Maybe you feel something in your lower back. Maybe you feel something in your knee. But you're not focused on that stuff. You're focusing on the breathing. Make sure you're aware of what's going on. So focusing heightens your awareness. And that's what you're doing with focusing on the breathing. Now, with the back foot, going to curl the toes under, knee goes up into a high lunge. You're going to settle in the high lunge. Do the best you can. Wherever you are, just accept it. So get the knee as straight as you can. And just accept it. Now, even for me, I know I'm not doing the high lunge perfectly, or what is so-called perfectly, but for my body, I'm doing it perfectly. And I'm accepting it, and then I'm just focusing on the breathing. You're learning acceptance, capital A. Capital A. If it's getting too much, just bring yourself out of it. Just because you commit to the pose. Say, hey, I'm going to do it like this, and then you accept it. You're your own guru, so you're listening to the body and saying, hey, okay, after 15 seconds, I need to bring myself out of it. That's what you do. It's part of yoga, learning how to listen to yourself. Do the best you can, and then listening to yourself. Now you're going to bring the knee down. You're going to go into the monkey. Now with the monkey, arms are up. So you're reaching up. You can keep the palms, fix my shirt. Not the palms, I'm sorry, arms parallel to each other if you like, or they can go out some. But whatever you're doing, keep the fingers as wide as you can. Middle fingers point straight up. You can look up, you can look forward. And just focus on the breathing. Now you may be bobbling back and forth. It's fine. You're aware of it, you're not focused on it. You're not judging it. You're accepting it. That's where you are. And when I talk, I can hear my voice going doo-doo. So I need to get some panels put right there. See? My mind's not focused, so I'm thinking about the sound. And wherever you are, reach up higher, stretch. Now, palms go down to the front. And now you're going to go to high lunge. Just for a second, too, just to settle here, then into the pigeon. So right foot goes over to the left side. It's a foot down from the left hand. So it's about 12 inches down. So when you go down, the elbow is very close to the foot. And square up the hips, shoulders are square, and then you fall on top of the leg. Stuff on the mat. So in this pose, you're not pulling yourself down or pushing yourself down. Just let the body fall where it falls. And you're accepting it. Letting go of control, letting go of the mindset of, hey, I need to be here. I need to be pushing down. Let go of that mindset. That's not the type of yoga. We're learning a mindset. And just focus on the breathing. Now palms go to the floor, pushing up. Your arms are straight. And now for this pose, you are pushing into it. So you're pushing up, arching the back, dropping the head, pushing the hip bones forward diagonally. So you're pushing and arching, and then just focusing on the breathing. Hip bones are still square, shoulders are square as you can get them. And just do the best you can. Now, once you commit, that doesn't mean you have to stay in it. So you commit, maybe 7 seconds later, you're like, man, that's too much. I'm going to bring myself out of it. So bring yourself out of it a little bit. We go back into the one that where you're all the way down. See, I still can't speak yet. I need to do like those singers. They go, okay, they don't do that, but they do something like that. And you bring yourself down, pull on top of the leg, and then you're just sinking into it. Let the body fall where the body falls, and just accept it. Now, technically, you might be over a little bit, right? You may be leaning, you may be going like this. You might have an issue in the lower back, so you're thinking, man, I need to do it this way or that way. That's fine. Listen to the body, be aware of that, but you're focusing on the breathing. You're not focusing on the so-called issue that you have. You're working with it. Palms forward, bring yourself back up. Arms are straight, you're pushing into it, hip bones are square, so you're pushing forward diagonally. Head is dropping back, arching the back if you can. If not, the back is fine if it's straight. Do the best you can. Now you're going to bring yourself out of it. You're going to go to the high lunge. You're going to get there how you have to or can. We're not going to stay in the high lunge. We're just going to use it as a transition to the downward dog. So curl your toes under. Bring yourself out of the stretch first. So get yourself out of the stretch. And then you're going to get the right foot up between the hands. Settle here. Then move into downward dog. Pushing into downward dog. And in this pose, you are pushing into the pose. So arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels towards the floor. And you're pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and focus on the breathing. Now again, just because you commit to a certain position doesn't mean you stay in it. If it's too much, bring yourself out of it some. And if it's gotten too easy, push yourself into it a little bit more. Listen to your body. Do the best you can. Focus on the breathing. Now, you're going to slide into the upper dog. You drop down to the knees and the chest. You slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Palms are to the floor. Head is going up. Doing the best you can. Now, if you need to modify this pose, you go down to the small cobra. Now, with the small cobra, the chest is off the floor. Palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're not pushing up. You're pulling up. Or you go to hands and knees, or you do the upper dog and modify it. And just focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And then you're going to go back into the downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight. Legs are straight, tailbone going to the ceiling, heels are to the floor, or towards the floor. And again, you're pushing into this pose, but you're pushing to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, accept it, and focus on the breathing. Now you're going to go to the low lunge. So the left foot is up between the hands. That's the foot that we took back. So that's the one you bring up. So you can do the other side. So if you're not on the other side, switch feet. Make sure you're on the other side. So with the back foot, top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square. They're pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight. Maybe arch to your palms. Maybe you're to your fingertips. Maybe you're leaning a little bit. Wherever you are, accept it. Don't judge it. And make sure the front knee is not over the toe. If it is, or over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some and just focus on breathing. Definitely need a mic, but I think I'm going to soundproof the room first. That costs money. Everything costs money. So I'm going to have to wait. Remember, you're thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And focusing on the breathing heightens your awareness and lets you know what's going on in the body. Let you know of an issue you might have in the lower back, and the knee, and the foot, and even in the shoulder. But you're not focused on those things. You're focused on the breathing. Now with the back foot, go curl the toes under, knee goes up. And go to high lunge. Do the best you can so you get the leg as straight as you can. And just make sure the front knee is not over the toe. Maybe you're still in a low lunge. If you need to just do the low lunge, do that. Maybe you do the high lunge just for 5 seconds or so. And then you're like, okay, I need to go back to the low lunge. Do that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're learning acceptance. You're learning where you are. And that mindset of acceptance, accepting where you are on the yoga mat, allows you to accept where you are in the so-called real world. Allows you to accept things that are happening. Now that doesn't mean you don't fight and defend yourself. That means you just accept. Just accept. Now you're going to go to the monkey. Drop the knee down to the floor. Do the best you can. Toes are curled under in the back. And you're reaching up. So arms are straight, parallel to each other, or they're out. Whatever you're doing, make your fingers as wide as you can. Middle fingers are pointing straight up, reaching up, focusing on the breathing. Now again, if you're wobbling, it's fine. You're aware of it, but you're not focused on it. You're focusing on the breathing, accepting where you are. And wherever you are, reach up a little higher. You can look forward if you like, or look up. Now, palms go down to the floor, high lunge, just for a second or two. Left foot goes over to the right side. This is the pigeon. It's a foot down from the hand, foot down from the palm. Almost touched the wall. Well, I did touch the wall. So hip bones are square, shoulders are square. And then you just fall on top of the leg. Just accept where you are. You're not pushing down, you're not pulling down. Just let the body go where it goes. Let go of judgment. Let go of control. In this pose, you're not controlling it, just accepting it. It's a mindset that we're learning. And I know I'm talking into the mat. Then palms to the floor. Bring yourself up. Arms are straight. Hip bones are square, pushing forward. And the back is arching. So this is your head. So the head is going up. Right? It's kind of like a scoop. You're pushing into this pose. Now you are pushing into this one. Just focus on the breathing. Accept where you are. Don't worry where you think the pose should be, or where you think, or how you think the pose should look. Let go of that mindset. Even if you're thinking, man, I'm doing it perfectly. Let go of the mindset. It's no judgment. Just accept it, accept it, accept it. And go back down, sink into it. Don't push into it, control it. Just let the body go where the body goes. Just focus on the breathing. Bring yourself back up. Arms straight, pushing the hips forward, diagonally, arching the back, using the arms. In this pose, you're pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Settle there, accept it, focus on the breathing. Now, after 5 seconds or so, if you feel like you need to bring yourself out of it a little bit, do so. Listen to your body, be your own guru. If you feel like you need to go into it more, do so. Listen to the body. Learning how to listen to yourself. Now you're going to go into the high lunge. So before you go in the high lunge, you're going to get yourself out of the stretch first. So you don't want to go from the stretch right into the high lunge and then injure yourself. So you bring yourself down, curl the toes under, get yourself out of the stretch. Then bring the left foot up between the hands. Settle here for a second to it's a high lunge. And then bring the right leg up into the standing forward bend. So palms are to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down, focusing on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. In this pose, as you pull yourself in and down, the belly's trying to breathe. Well, you're trying to breathe, but the belly's expanding when you inhale. The belly goes in when you exhale. Let that movement happen. Be aware of the movement, focusing on the breathing. The palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale. Palms together, and then mountain pose. Now I wish I could open the door. See, I have that new light right there. I can't open the door. If I open the door first and then put the light there, and the light flashes outside. So I need to figure something else out. I like the door open because I like the sound of outside. There's a dog that barks at around 5:45 every morning. Sometimes there's a bird out there. I don't know if it's the same bird, but he or she, I don't know what it is, chirps. On mountain pose, you're just settling, finding that spot where the skeleton is just standing. Now we're going to do the standard sun salutation with the low lunge. You can do the best you can, thinking of, hey, this is easy. Way easier than the first sun salutation. Gain the mindset of easiness. Keep the mindset of easiness. And when you're off the yoga mat, keep the mindset of easiness throughout the day. Feeling like, man, everything's easy. And that happens the same way it happens in yoga. You're in a pose that seems difficult. Just accept it. Move, position yourself where it's easier. That's what you do in life too. So palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push your arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. Exhale, hinge forward. Arms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. On switch sides of feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. Opening up, inhaling, exhaling, focusing on the breathing, feeling opened. Then you're going to go into the high lunge, then downward dog, pushing into it. Really pushing into it, but making it feel easy. It should feel easier. And slide into the upper dog and modify it how you have to. Focusing on the breathing. Nothing else but the breathing. And downward dog, focusing on the breathing, pushing into it. Left foot is up, between the hands, low lunge, opening up, focusing on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. High lunge, then standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Arms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale. And then the mountain pose. Now, mountain pose, remember, toes go up, spread the toes, then each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted. No tension in the arms, the shoulders. And you're lengthening up. So feel like you're lengthening up and line up the bones or the skeleton, where the skeleton is just standing. No tension anywhere. You're focusing on the breathing. So when you inhale, the belly swells there. And when you exhale, the belly goes in. Focus on that, watching yourself breathe, or focus on the tip of the nose. Watch the air go in and out. And it's natural to focus on the breathing, to watch yourself breathe, and then you start controlling it. But you're already breathing automatically, so you're not controlling it. Then go to the mindset of control. Just watch it. I'm going to stay here just a little bit longer, so just watch yourself breathe. Bring the palms together. That's it. So that is YouTube number 86 YouTube live yoga routine. I have it written up there. I can't see that far. Even if I go like that, I can't see that far. So I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. Mountain Standard Time? Yeah, Mountain Standard Time for 5:30 a.m. So namaste, peace and love.